What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Why Pulsechain can have bigger returns than Hex. And speaking of Pulsechain, is it soon? Is that why we're pumping? I'll cover all that in the video. Let's hop right into it. So here on the Hex daily chart, you see the past 5 days been pretty good. 3 cents, went all the way up to 5 cents, about a 45% gain in 1 week. And we have this tweet here from Kareem, fellow Hexican. He says, Hexicans, the DXY is finally below 110 again, and it seems to be running out of steam from going parabolic. If sideways action while remaining below 110 can be sustained until the end of the month, this could be the beginning of the big reversal we've all been waiting for. DXY is the dollar, and the dollar has been just increasing in value like crazy, and it hasn't been great for stocks and crypto. So once the dollar starts to go down, or sideways at least, once the dollar cools off, these other assets can pick back up. So good to see that. Now I've seen a lot of Hexicans on Twitter saying, oh, you know, everyone that was calling for 1 cent, where are you now? Keep in mind, guys, the Fed said this week, the Federal Reserve, that they want to lower the future interest rate hikes. So they're starting to pivot their monetary policy. And Bitcoin reacted pretty well. Bitcoin's sitting at close to 21K, 20.7. So when Bitcoin, goes parabolic and Fed pivots, most risk on assets are gonna, have a little bit of a reaction. I wouldn't say, all-time highs at any point soon until the price level you want to look at now is 7 cents. After 3 cents, we go to 7 cents. After 7 cents, I forget, was it like, is 7 cents the last point? Yes. After 7 cents, you could go back and revisit 20 cents. But moving forward, I hope this pump will accelerate the launch of Pulsechain. Can't imagine the FOMO into PulseX and Pulse. Some people are hypothesizing that Pulsechain's launching soon, and that's why that's why Hex is going up. I don't think that's the case. Hopefully it is launching soon, but I don't think there's people with insider information. The God Whale, who has millions and millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, and he has 15-year stakes. He made some big buys lately, so people are thinking maybe the God Whale was tipped off. Some people think the God Whale is Richard Hart himself. Ethereum's been going crazy too. People are saying it could be because of the merge. However, Ethereum is still net inflationary, I think, after the merge until Zen Crypto came around, and Zen single-handedly has pumped up the fees on the network, but it also started burning ETH, so that's good. And HVID Hex said, people say testnet v3 for Pulsechain is out. If this is true, we're really close to launching. It's not publicly available yet, but there seems to be a lot happening on the GitHub. Okay? The GitHub is where you can see the code. And she responds by putting the Pulsechain testnet, and it was updated 5 minutes ago in real time, the testnet. And this was a cool picture. DJ Cryptomatic, shout out. Look at all these tokens in the Pulsechain community already. Hex is obviously Richard Hart, but you have all these other projects that have gotten ahead of the curve. They're being proactive, and they're building on the network. Team, Pulse Doge, not Ethereum, Maximus, Hedron, Icosa. So people are going to say, oh, Pulsechain's a ghost chain. No one's going to develop on it. It's not even out. 95% of crypto doesn't know about it. And there's already successful projects on it. I'm bullish about that. And now for this clip from Richard Hart. Why Pulsechain can have bigger returns than Hex. If you guys want to support, hit the like button. It's free, really supports the content, and I'm grateful for it. So thank you in advance. Hope you're having a good week. I'll never ask you for money, but I will ask you to hit the like button.
There's been a number of people that have wondered or questioned if Pulsechain and PulseX it might have a more difficult time of having Hex-like returns because the initial capital infusion is so much greater than Hex was. 680 million put into Pulsechain, close to $1 billion in PulseX. Is that a consideration, or is it more of the initial liquidity pool that's said in the beginning that has more of a bearing on the ability to grow and compound?
So a lot of business is experiments. you can't know with certainty what things are going to do. So I always run into people speaking with great certainty about things that there's just no way to know. So my best guess as to the opportunity of a speculative investment is the ratio of the people that know about it now to the ratio of people that will know about it. And this applies for honest, amazing things and for straight up trash things. So do you think that Hex stops on ramping users at 107,000 stakers? Well, I look at the chart and it doesn't look like that's what it's doing. Looks like it's doing just fine. Do you think more people, like let me put it to this way. What percentage of Ethereum users have even heard of Pulsechain? 5%?
Very few.
6%? It said no mentions in any article anywhere. All the crypto news people are totally silent about it. So, I think that the ratio of people that have heard about Pulsechain and PulseX to the ratio of people that will hear about the world's largest free airdrop, I think there's going to be a big difference. I think there's going to be a lot of people that will be happy to participate that have never heard of it before. So that for me is the largest indicator of the potential of a thing. And so, by the way, like Hex did a 10,000x, 100,000 stakers. How many more people do you think will participate in Pulsechain? I mean, straight up sucky stuff that is trash, like Celsius had millions of users. Millions of users. Hex doesn't have millions of users. Hex doesn't have millions of sacrificers, but Celsius had millions of users. And Ethereum probably has tens of millions of users, etc. And so I think, and here's the other thing. Why is the Pulsechain chat room 50% larger than the Hex chat room, even though it's 10 times less old? Well, it's not tenfold less old anymore, but it's massively less old because it's an easier to understand product. There's not a definite answer as to why, but in my experience, people understand it a lot easier. They're like cheaper, faster Ethereum, deflates only. By the way, Ethereum's still net inflationary, I believe, even after the merge. So,
all right, number 2. So you've talked about in the past creating like a leverage trading platform in Pulsechain. My question is that still in the plans? And what would you do different than all the scam exchanges out there that are scamming people?
I mean, in theory, leverage trading itself is a scam. Most people lose money.
Sure.
So I hate the duality of, but I mean, I guess Pulsechain is going to be similarly duopolistic. I'm not even sure that's the right way to say that, but I think it is the right way to say that. How many scams are going to launch on Pulse? Endless. But that's what freedom looks like. And that's what helping the majority honest things looks like. And that's what saving hexagons from gas fees looks like. So the question is with margin trading, does it provide the same net utility as consensus network? Probably not. But if people are going to get wrecked margin trading, probably better they get wrecked someplace that wrecks them less than more, So, I mean, like, I think scaled, I'm not going to name names, but there was one very popular platform that when you would get liquidated, it would sell everything, even if it only had to sell a little bit. And so it caused extra volatility. And then you'd have trailing stops, but not trailing entries, which amplifies volatility instead of decreases volatility. Because they get paid on volatility. And so they want to amplify it, which, by the way, is the opposite of what people are trying to do with, quote, claiming that they're helping price discovery. So you discover the price earlier and more effectively, and then it reduces volatility. And so it's weird to have a platform that amplifies volatility for its own profit through the two things I just said. And so, one other platform that I'm aware of used like a scaled liquidation where if you only...
So essentially, Pulsechain is easier to understand 95% of Ethereum doesn't have exposure to it, doesn't know about it. And if you just look at Ethereum 16,000x returns, not saying Pulsechain will do that, but that there is potential. Who knows what it'll do? There is potential. Thanks for watching. If you're still watching and you made it this far, I appreciate you. Comment grilled cheese below when you watch the full video. It really helps. So thank you in advance if you did that. And if you're still listening, comment grilled cheese so I know you're one of my top supporters. Thank you in advance. God bless you. Till next time.